Good morning. Here are some easy access points to this absolutely gorgeous, glorious harp. So I was talking about just doing single strings, and this is with all levers down, so this is in C minor. So I just have patients kind of try different strings. They can easily reach this one with their left hand because the harp is placed on their right shoulder. Then I have them do the pincher technique, and they're using their thumb and their finger, any finger. Never their pinky though, funnily enough. And you can also show them that you could pluck two strings right next to each other. That's my cat. And they're going to get dissonance. And if they just move one, it resolves, which is cool. And either way gives them a different kind of resolution. And then there's the glissando. They can either pull up or they can push down with their thumb. It's a little weirder on the way down. And then some of the more advanced techniques is they can just pluck between 3 and 6 strings without even looking, anywhere with a little bit of space between each finger. It just sounds amazing. This is one of my favorite things to do on the harp. Oh, it's just so cool. And then there's the fancy glissando. This is another advanced technique. You start a glissando in one finger on one side, and then you follow it in these short little bursts as you move up the strings. And I always try to explain each of these techniques, like first just try to pluck one string at a time, and I try to tell them with my voice first instead of being like, do this. Because I don't want them to feel like they have to do it as well as I do or anything like that. So I always try first try to do a glissando. Just take your finger and just drag it up the strings, see what it sounds like, because then they get to discover it on their own and they get to own it on their own. And I try to do that with the fancy glissando, be like, okay, reach out and start one glissando and then come right behind it with the next finger. And sometimes they can get it, but sometimes I end up having to show them on the harp. And it just sounds really cool and feels very fancy. So there you go. There's my intro to the harp.